Jennifer Rodriguez. Janet, I'm sorry.
Thank you. What did Mr. Curtis mean when he said that he would work through Congress to get a special something, we don't know what it is, for DACA recipients? And when can we expect that to happen? And also, when can we expect the White House Spanish site to be back up?
Okay, two questions. Let me start with the latter first. As you know, we hit the ground running on day one. There was a lot to do, and we had done a lot of work on the website to make sure that we were prepared to get as much information up as fast as possible. We are continuing to build out the website, both in the issue areas, and then that area. But we've got the IT folks working overtime right now to continue to get all of that up to speed. And trust me, it's just going to take a little bit more time, but we're working piece by piece to get that done. On the DACA piece, I think the president's been clear that he was going to prioritize the areas of dealing with the immigration system, both building the wall and making sure that we address people who are in this country illegally. First and foremost, the president's been very, very clear that we need to direct agencies to focus on those who are in this country illegally and have a record a criminal record or pose a threat to the American people. That's where the priority is going to be, and then we're going to continue to work through the entire number of folks that are here illegally. But right now, the clear focus is on that. Yeah. David.
Two questions. One, back on DACA, I was just curious about the message from this administration, from the White House, to young people who may qualify and not yet have the protection. Should they enroll going forward, and those who are in the program now seek renewal?
Well, I think, what those people should know is that the president's laid out a list of priorities. And the priorities are focused on making sure that people who can do harm or have done harm and have a criminal record are the focus. And as he said throughout the campaign, we've got a series of individuals that we've got to figure out, people who have overstayed their visas, people who have committed crime, and we're going to go through that in a very systematic and methodical way. So for now, that's not, the focus is going to be on people who have done harm to our country.
Peña was welcoming you, and thank you, Sean, and welcome here.
Thank you.
So I have a follow-up on the housekeeping question about NAFTA. Are we not to expect then an executive order today to renegotiate NAFTA, or will he wait till he meets with President Peña Nieto next week? And on the other question I had is, he didn't mention Latin America at all in his in his inauguration speech. Does he plan to visit Latin America this year?
So on the first part, I think we'll have further announcements on trade throughout the week. I think we're done with executive orders for the day. But as I always say, stand by. But we do not have any intention to have additional executive orders today. But I believe there could be some additional ones throughout the week on trade, and we'll have further updates for you on there. And then the second part.
If he plans to travel to Latin America, given that he left them out on his inauguration speech.
Well, I don't think I didn't think he left them out. I think he was focused on this country, our American workers. I don't think he got into detail on any countries that I'm aware of or that I can recall. But I also think that we're here on the first working day. We're announcing Theresa May coming this Friday. We're excited to have the Prime Minister here. As I said, we've already talked about setting up a meeting with Canada and Mexico. He's talked to Prime Minister Netanyahu about having him come over. And then, as I mentioned, President al-Sisi. So we'll get there. We've got a lot of calls to return. There's a lot of excitement throughout the world and a lot of people who are really excited both to come here and to have the President visit them. Yes.
On immigration, the Chief of Staff, I think, had said over the weekend, seemed to suggest that an executive order shutting down the DACA program had been ruled out. Is that officially ruled out as you guys go forward? Yeah. And does the President support action in Congress that would essentially permanently establish those protections?
Yeah, I think I don't have anything further on the executive action front, but what I think I've asked and answered the DACA piece of this in terms of his priorities right now.
Does he support legislation?
I think that we'll have to. We don't have anything in front of us right now to sign on that, so give us a little bit of time. We'll see what Congress moves forward with, and then I'm sure we'll have a further readout on both the executive order piece and on the legislation. Yes, sir.
What's the status of the refugee resettlement program?
I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one right now. Or I think the best thing to do would probably contact the Department of State. Yes, sir, in the back.
Months ago, then candidate Trump was in Gettysburg and he made a whole list of day one promises. He called it a contract with the American voters. A bunch of them are not going to get done today because you said he's done with making executive orders, labeling China a currency manipulator, imposing congressional term limits, or proposing that I want to ask you, why not pursue all those on day one as he promised in a contract with the voters?
Well, I think we're going to continue to sequence those out. I think part of it is to make sure that we don't spend our entire day signing executive orders and bringing you in. There's a way that we can do this to make sure that we're getting all of those things that he promised the American people done in short haste, and doing it in a way that doesn't just jam them out in a fire hose. And I think part of this is ensuring that we sequence these, that gives the American people the proper attention that they deserve. Because part of it is that if we put them all out on one day, they get lost in the ether, I think. And I think he made these promises and pledges to the American people because they're important to him. So.
He still plans to do everything on that day one list, though?
That's his intention, yeah. He's very clear about that, yes.
When will the American people see that? And then on NAFTA, can you just clarify? I know he's going to meet with the leaders of Mexico and Canada. Has he started to have discussions with them currently about renegotiating NAFTA?
Yeah,
He
so,
indicated
yeah.
on Sunday
On
that-
Obamacare, I think he's going to continue the discussion tonight with Speaker Ryan in particular at the meeting that he's going to have after the reception. When it comes to the other part was NAFTA. He discussed on the phone with both leaders his desire to reform it, but obviously his goal was to have that discussion when they come in person. And I think I mentioned yesterday the foreign minister of Mexico is going to come on the 25th, 26th to sort of set the table and have some of those meetings ahead of President Peña Nieta's meeting here.